Today I'm going to reveal 7 female body language signs that prove genuine interest in you. Most men don't realize that a woman's body communicates much more than words. In fact, 70% of attraction communication is non-verbal. In the next few minutes, I'm going to decode these unmistakable signals every woman shows when she's attracted, so you'll never confuse politeness with interest again. These gestures are the difference between being eternally stuck in the friend zone or sparking authentic desire. What if I told you that you are just a few adjustments away from becoming the kind of man who naturally attracts high-quality women? The truth is, 90% of men will never discover what I'm going to share today. They'll keep making the same mistakes, getting the same disappointing results, but you decided to take the first step towards a complete transformation. First of all, I need you to understand something crucial. True seduction isn't about artificial techniques or mind games. It's about developing an authentic and magnetic version of yourself. When you master this art, women feel something different about you, something they can't quite explain, but which deeply attracts them. Let's start with the foundation of everything, your mindset. The most common mistake I see men making is approaching women with needy energy. They project insecurity, desperation, and neediness, the biggest attraction repellents there are. Starting today, you will adopt an abundance mindset. You don't need that specific woman to be happy. You are okay with yourself, and any relationship will be a complement to your already fulfilling life, not a void filler. Think of it like a fragrance. When you're desperate, you exude a scent that pushes people away. When you're confident and whole, you exude an aroma that naturally attracts. The first impression you make on a woman isn't in your words, but in the energy you transmit in the first few seconds. This energy is a direct result of your internal mindset. Remember that time you met someone and for no apparent reason felt an instant aversion? Or the opposite? You felt an immediate connection. That's exactly how it works for women. They sense your energy even before you open your mouth. Now let's talk about your physical presence. The way you occupy space communicates a lot about your value. Insecure men tend to shrink, speak softly, avoid eye contact. Confident men expand. Their presence, not in an arrogant way but comfortably. Their shoulders are relaxed and back. Their chest is open. Their breathing is deep and steady. Their voice resonates from the diaphragm, not the throat. Try it right now. Stand up if you're sitting. Adjust your posture. Feel your feet firmly planted on the ground. Breathe deeply. Feel your chest expand. This isn't just a physical change, it's an energetic statement to the world. You are saying without words, I am comfortable with myself. I belong wherever I am. I deserve to be seen and heard. This altered physical presence immediately affects your mental state. It's impossible to maintain a powerful posture and continue feeling insecure. Your body and mind are intrinsically connected. When you change one, the other follows. Let's move on to communication. Most men make a fatal mistake when talking to women. They go into interview mode. They ask predictable questions, get superficial answers, and the conversation naturally dies. True magnetic communication works differently. Instead of asking, "What do you do?" or "Where are you from?" start by sharing something genuine about yourself, an observation, a recent experience, a unique perspective. This creates an opening for her to respond just as authentically. From there, you alternate between sharing and asking, each time deepening the connection. The secret is active listening. When she speaks, listen completely, not to respond, not to impress, but to truly understand. Ask questions based on what she just said, not on your pre-planned mental script. When you show that you genuinely listen to her and value what she says, you create a rarity in the world of modern dating. Think about the last time someone really listened to you. How did you feel? Valued, respected, understood. This is exactly what you will offer the women you meet. Now let's talk about a fundamental aspect most men completely ignore: reading non-verbal cues. Human communication is 93% non-verbal. While you're fixated on the words, she's reading your body language, tone of voice, facial micro-expressions, and dozens of other signals you unconsciously emit. A woman interested in you will show certain predictable behaviors. She'll touch. Her hair lean towards you, mirror your movements. find reasons to accidentally touch you. She'll smile more, her pupils will dilate, her voice might become slightly higher pitched. These are biological signs of attraction she can't consciously control. Your job is to develop the sensitivity to notice these signs. When you identify genuine interest, you can move forward with confidence. When you notice disinterest, you can respectfully back off or change your approach. This skill alone will save you countless hours of frustration and rejection. Remember, women rarely reject directly. They give subtle clues. Ignoring these clues not only wastes your time, but shows a lack of social intelligence that is deeply unattractive. It's time to talk about the elephant in the room: rejection. The fear of rejection is what paralyzes most men. They build elaborate strategies to avoid any possibility of hearing a no, and by doing that, they eliminate any chance of hearing a yes. The liberating truth is this: rejection is rarely personal. When a woman doesn't show interest, countless factors can be at play. She might be in a relationship going through a difficult time, not in the right emotional state to meet someone new, or simply not feel chemistry, something no technique in the world can manufacture. The most successful men with women aren't those who never face rejection. They are those who don't let rejection affect their self-worth. They understand that compatibility is a two-way street. Not every woman will connect with you, just as you don't connect with everyone you meet. Starting today, you will redefine rejection as selection. You are selecting compatible partners, and they are doing the same. When there's no compatibility, you both save time and energy that can be directed towards connections with greater potential. Imagine completely freeing yourself from the fear of rejection. How would you behave differently? What risks would you take? What opportunities would you seize? This is the mental state you must cultivate daily. Speaking of cultivating, let's move on to the next crucial pillar: continuous personal development. Female attraction is strongly influenced by the potential she sees in you. A high-quality woman isn't just interested in who you are today, but in who you are becoming. When you demonstrate commitment to your growth, whether it's developing new skills, expanding your knowledge, improving your physical health, or refining your cultural taste, you naturally become more attractive. You transmit ambition, discipline, and purpose, magnetic qualities for women of value. Ask yourself, what are you actively doing to become a better version of yourself? What books are you reading? What skills are you developing? What areas of your life are you improving? A man in constant evolution never runs out of interesting topics to discuss or experiences to share. Have you ever noticed how people who are passionate about something are naturally captivating? When you talk about something that genuinely interests you, your eyes light up, your energy shifts, your expressiveness increases. This authenticity is irresistible. Cultivate true passions, not to impress others but to enrich your own life. An often overlooked aspect of attraction is a sense of humor. Laughter creates instant intimacy. A woman who genuinely laughs with you feels connected to you. But be careful. Humor doesn't mean telling rehearsed jokes or being the clown of the group. It means seeing life with lightness, finding the absurd in everyday life, and not taking yourself too seriously. The most attractive humor comes from spontaneity and sharp observation. When you can make insightful comments about shared situations, you create complicity and demonstrate social intelligence. Practice finding the light side of daily situations. Develop the ability to laugh at yourself. This demonstrates true confidence and naturally breaks down social barriers. Let's move on to a controversial but essential topic: masculine-feminine polarity. In recent decades, a lot of confusion has arisen about what it means to be a man in a relationship. I'll be direct. To create strong and lasting attraction, you need to embrace your masculine energy. Masculine energy has nothing to do with chauvinism or domination. It's all about direction, purpose, stability, and presence. It's the ability to make decisions, set clear boundaries, protect what you value, and remain centered amidst emotional chaos. Women are naturally attracted to men who demonstrate these qualities because they create a space where feminine energy can flourish. Feminine energy is fluid, emotional, intuitive, and creative. When these complementary energies meet, the attraction is chemical and instinctive. Honestly assess: have you been demonstrating true masculine energy in your interactions? Do you take initiative or wait for things to happen? Do you express your desires clearly or use hints? Do you keep your word or back down at the first sign of resistance? A man who embraces his masculine energy isn't afraid to express romantic or sexual interest. He does so respectfully but without apology. He understands that his masculine sexuality, when expressed with integrity, is a gift, not a threat. And that brings us to another crucial point: authenticity. In the age of pickup artists and manipulative techniques, true authenticity has become surprisingly rare and therefore incredibly valuable. Women have developed extremely accurate sensors for detecting fakery. They can tell when a man is trying to project a manufactured image versus when he is genuinely being himself. This perception often happens on a subconscious level, but powerfully influences attraction. Authenticity means aligning your thoughts, words, and actions. It means expressing your true opinions, even when they aren't the most popular. It means being vulnerable about your imperfections, instead of trying to appear perfect. Paradoxically, the vulnerabilities you try to hide are often the aspects that would create genuine connection. Have you ever noticed how you feel completely at ease with some people from the first moment? This is the energy of authenticity. When you show up without masks, compatible people feel instantly comfortable with you. Incompatible ones naturally drift away, saving you time and energy. Now let's discuss something fundamental that few men understand: the role of emotions in female attraction. Women don't fall for your looks, status, or achievements, although these factors can create initial interest. They fall for how you make them feel. A woman might forget what you said or did, but she will never forget how you made her feel. This is the key to deep and lasting connections. When you can create emotionally impactful experiences, you become unforgettable. How do you create these experiences? Through emotional highs and lows. Monotony is the killer of attraction. A date, where everything is pleasant but predictable, will be forgotten in days. A date with moments of deep connection, intense laughter, stimulating discussions, and even healthy tension will be etched in her memory. Think about the movies that affected you the most. They probably didn't maintain the same emotional tone from beginning to end. They took you on a journey of different emotional states. Your dates should work the same way. This means alternating between light and deep topics, between fun stories and reflective questions, between physical closeness and space. This dynamic creates magnetic attraction because it mirrors the emotional reality of life, which is never flat and monotonous. An often neglected aspect of attraction is the social environment. Women are strongly influenced by how others respond to you. When she sees other people, especially other women, reacting positively to your presence, your attractiveness automatically increases. This phenomenon is known as social proof. Cultivating a healthy social circle not only enriches your life but dramatically increases your attractiveness. A man who has genuine friendships demonstrates the capacity for connection, reliability, and social value, highly desirable qualities in a potential partner. Observe how you behave in social settings. Do you cultivate authentic connections, or are you always looking for the next best option? Do you introduce people who could benefit from meeting each other, or do you guard your contacts for fear of competition? A truly confident man creates value for everyone around him. Speaking of creating value, let's discuss the dynamic of pursuit. Most men approach romantic interactions with the mindset of, what can I get? Attention, validation, physical affection. The most attractive men ask, what value can I add to her life? Value can be created in countless ways: making her laugh after a tough day, offering a perspective she's never considered, introducing her to new experiences, being an exceptional listener when she needs to vent, or simply bringing stability and calm to her busy life. When you consistently add genuine value, you become a rare resource in her life, someone she wants to keep around. This is the foundation for lasting and fulfilling relationships for both of you. A common mistake I see men making is confusing being nice with adding value. Agreeing with everything she says, always being available, and never setting boundaries doesn't add real value. In fact, it decreases your perceived value. True value comes from authenticity, not subservience. Let's now address physical escalation, a topic where I see men often paralyzed by indecision. The truth is, romantic attraction without physical expression is just friendship. At some point, you need to cross the barrier of physical contact to transform interest into palpable attraction. The secret lies in natural progression and constantly reading signs of receptivity, starting with casual touches on the arm during moments of laughter, progressing to more prolonged contact like a hand on her back when guiding her through a door, and eventually to more intimate forms of contact. Each step should be taken with confidence, but also with complete acceptance that she might not be ready. You advance, observe the reaction, and adjust accordingly. If you sense hesitation, you respectfully back off and rebuild comfort before trying again at another time. Remember, women desire men who take initiative but respect boundaries. This dance of advancing and adjusting demonstrates both confidence and emotional intelligence, an irresistible combination. A crucial and rarely discussed aspect of seduction is timing. There are moments when a woman is more receptive to romantic connection and moments when she isn't, regardless of how attractive you are. Developing sensitivity to identify these moments is a skill that separates masters of seduction from amateurs. If she is visibly preoccupied with work problems, processing a recent loss, or simply in a closed emotional state, moving forward romantically will be counterproductive. Recognizing these states and offering what she truly needs in that moment, whether it's space, understanding, or simply a comforting presence, demonstrates high emotional intelligence. On the other hand, there are moments of natural openness, when she is celebrating an achievement, experiencing new situations, or simply in a state of expansive joy. In these moments, receptivity to deeper connections significantly increases. Develop the ability to read her emotional state and calibrate your approach accordingly. This flexibility demonstrates a deep understanding of human nature and creates instant trust. Now let's talk about a topic that causes confusion for many men: communicating intentions. Many men fear expressing romantic interest directly, believing they might ruin a promising connection. They try to disguise their intentions, acting like just friends while secretly hoping for more. This approach almost always leads to the friend zone, a place that is extraordinarily difficult to escape. Female attraction responds to clarity of intentions. A woman might not reciprocate your interest, but she rarely loses respect for a man who honestly expresses what he desires. Communicating intentions doesn't mean making dramatic declarations of love or desire. It simply means your body language, your words and your actions are aligned with your genuine interest. It means creating situations that clearly have a romantic dimension, not just a friendly one. A one-on-one date in an atmospheric setting, with your complete attention focused on her, communicates intentions without explicit words. A touch that lasts a second longer than necessary. A gaze that holds for a moment beyond casual. Small gestures that clearly differentiate your romantic intentions from a simple friendship. Subtlety is powerful, but ambiguity is fatal for attraction. Find the balance. A crucial element of any successful romantic interaction is mystery. Humans are naturally drawn to the unknown, to what we haven't completely mastered yet. When you reveal everything about yourself immediately, you eliminate the element of discovery that fuels continuous interest. This doesn't mean creating a false persona or deliberately hiding information. It means allowing her to gradually discover the multiple layers of your personality. It means leaving questions without complete answers. It means maintaining a sense of unexplored depth. The most interesting men are like well-written novels. Each chapter reveals something new, while promising more to come. Compare that to men who dump their entire biography on the first date, leaving nothing to be discovered. Practice the art of revealing yourself gradually. Share meaningful personal stories, but know when to stop before telling every detail. Demonstrate contrasting aspects of your personality, moments of strength and vulnerability, seriousness and lightness, conviction and curiosity. This complexity creates lasting fascination. An often ignored aspect of effective seduction is creating memorable experiences. Women are deeply impacted by experiences that stimulate multiple senses and evoke significant emotions. When you provide such experiences, You become associated with those positive feelings in her emotional memory. Instead of predictable dates at coffee shops and restaurants, seek out locations and activities that offer something unique and memorable. A sunset picnic at a little-known spot, a cooking class where you prepare something together, an immersive art exhibit that sparks deep discussions. The physical environment powerfully influences the emotional state. A space with low lighting, engaging music, and interesting sensory elements creates a completely different atmosphere from a brightly lit, noisy environment. Learn to create and select environments that support the connection you want to establish. Remember, the goal isn't to impress with extravagance, but to create a context where genuine connection can naturally flourish. The most memorable experiences often come from the simplest yet most significant moments. Let's now move on to an essential topic: effective verbal communication. The way you structure your communication has a profound impact on attraction. Most men communicate in a linear and informative way, reporting facts and events without sparking significant emotions. Magnetic communication works differently. It prioritizes emotional impact over information. It uses elements like varied vocal pace, strategic pauses, rich sensory language, and narrative structure in its stories. When you tell a story, don't just report what happened. Describe how the environment looked, what sounds filled the air, what physical sensations you experienced. Take the listener inside the experience. Don't just inform them about it. Ask questions that evoke images and emotions, not just facts. Instead of, "Do you like to travel?" ask, "What was the most surprising moment you ever experienced on a trip?" The first elicits a yes and no answer. The second invites a revealing story. Truly captivating communication creates vivid mental images, sparks genuine curiosity, and establishes unexpected connections between ideas. Practice these skills daily, not just in romantic contexts. A topic that needs to be addressed directly: your physical appearance. While many dating coaches minimize its importance or exaggerate its impact, the truth lies somewhere in the middle. Your appearance is the first impression that communicates a lot about you before any words are exchanged. It's not about unattainable beauty standards, but about maximizing your natural potential. Taking care of your personal hygiene, wearing clothes that fit your body well, maintaining upright posture, investing in a haircut that complements your face. These aren't superficial matters, but external expressions of the self-respect you have. A man who clearly invests in his presentation communicates discipline, self-awareness, and consideration for others. These qualities are deeply attractive, regardless of your body type or facial features. Remember, your goal isn't to look like magazine models, but to be the best possible version of yourself. This requires honest self-awareness about your natural strengths and how to highlight them. Speaking of self-awareness, let's move on to the next crucial pillar: emotional intelligence. The ability to recognize, understand, and manage your own emotions while appropriately responding to the emotions of others is possibly the most underestimated skill in the art of seduction. An emotionally intelligent man notices nuances in interactions that others completely miss. He notices subtle changes in tone of voice, facial micro-expressions, and shifts in energy that signal her emotional state. He knows when to move forward and when to back off, when to tease and when to comfort, when to speak and when to listen. Most importantly, he doesn't react impulsively to his own emotional triggers. When he feels jealousy, insecurity, or anxiety, he recognizes these emotions without being controlled by them. This emotional stability creates a field of safety around him that is deeply attractive to women. Developing emotional intelligence requires honest self-examination and consistent practice. Start by observing your emotional reactions without judgment. Identify your patterns, recognize your triggers. This self-awareness is the foundation for all other emotional intelligence skills. A critical aspect of seduction that is rarely discussed openly is the power of detachment from the outcome. It seems counterintuitive, but your ability to remain detached from the result of any specific interaction dramatically increases your chances of success. When you are desperately focused on a particular outcome, whether it's a phone number, a kiss, or any other expression of interest, you project anxiety and pressure. You become rigid, calculating, and lose the natural fluidity that characterizes attractive interactions. Detachment doesn't mean indifference. It means being fully present and engaged in the moment, appreciating the interaction for its own sake, regardless of where it leads. Paradoxically, this freedom from specific expectations creates the ideal mental state for genuine connections to flourish. Practice regularly interacting with women without a specific agenda. Engage in conversations for the pure pleasure of human connection. Discover what you can learn and how you can grow through these interactions, not just what you can get from them. A fundamental concept in the art of seduction is creating shared narratives. Humans are naturally drawn to stories, especially those in which they see themselves as participants. When you create a narrative where you are both characters on a shared journey, you establish a connection that transcends the present moment. This can be as simple as noticing a synchronicity. It's interesting how we both mentioned that same obscure book. It feels like the universe is conspiring to connect us, or as elaborate as creating nicknames and inside jokes that only the two of you understand. These shared narratives create a private world between you, something that exists only for the two of you. This sense of exclusivity and complicity is incredibly powerful for building lasting attraction. Observe how connected couples often have stories they tell repeatedly about how they met or defining moments in their relationship. These aren't just stories, they are founding myths that strengthen their bond every time they are retold. We are reaching the end of this transformative journey, but first, I need to address a frequently misunderstood topic: the power of clear boundaries. Many men wrongly believe that to attract a woman, they need to agree with everything, tolerate any behavior, and never express disagreement. In reality, clear boundaries are deeply attractive. When you have defined standards for what you accept in your life, you communicate self-worth and integrity. A woman might test your boundaries, consciously or unconsciously, to see if you truly value yourself or are just another man desperate for approval. Healthy boundaries aren't aggressive ultimatums or rigid rules. They are calm and firm expressions of your self-respect. I don't feel comfortable when you consistently show up very late without letting me know. My time is valuable to me. This clarity, expressed without drama or accusation, communicates inner strength. Remember, you teach people how to treat you through what you allow. When you set and maintain healthy boundaries, you attract people who respect those boundaries and repel those who would seek to exploit you. As we conclude, I want to encourage you to immediately implement what you've learned. Knowledge without action is just entertainment. True transformation comes from consistently applying these principles in your daily life. Start by observing your current pattern of interactions with women. Identify specific areas where you notice opportunities for improvement. Perhaps it's your physical posture, your ability to hold engaging conversations, or your skill in reading nonverbal cues. Choose one or two concepts from this program to focus on initially. Practice them consciously until they become second nature. Only then, add new elements to your repertoire. Trying to change everything at once often leads to overwhelm and abandoning the process. Remember that genuine growth isn't linear. There will be moments of rapid progress and periods of apparent stagnation. There will be exciting successes and instructive failures. All of this is part of the journey of mastering the art of authentic seduction. If you consistently apply the principles I've shared today, I guarantee you will see transformations not only in your romantic life, but in all aspects of your existence. Because in the end, true seduction isn't about techniques or tactics. It's about becoming a man who naturally attracts what he desires through his intrinsic value and magnetic authenticity. The doors to a new reality of deep and fulfilling connections are open to you. The question is, will you have the courage to cross the threshold and become the man you always knew you could be? The decision, as always, is entirely yours. And if you are committing to this transformative journey, show it right now. Share this video with a friend who needs this message. Leave your comment below about which concept resonated with you the most. And most importantly, take action today. Not tomorrow, not next week, but immediately after finishing this video. Your new life begins now, and I am honored to be a part of this transformation.